You legends, good morning. It's Thursday morning. I'm heading out for a spin. Decided to take the camera along to talk about what deters the average person from getting on their bike in most U.S. cities or U.S. suburbs. I live in one of the U.S. suburbs north of Houston in an area called Klein. And so I'm going to focus more on how you ride in an area that is not bike friendly, specifically, meaning that they don't have bike lanes everywhere and separate bike areas. Today I'm going to join the Spring Creek Greenway, where they made a trail that's almost, maybe, I guess it might be 50 kilometers one way. Overall, it's almost 70K thereabouts, I'm estimating. But anyway, it goes from here, and in post-production I will show the map with the actual distances. But basically, this is one of the roads near my home. This is a main boulevard that goes north and south. So if you're on a road like this, you see where I am? I'm in this lane, and I will not go further to the right than where the right of the car tires ride. You take the lane this way. It forces them to pass in the other lane. You don't need to go all the way over here per se, but this is where you ride. This is where motorcyclists ride, right here. That's how you take the road. The busier it is, the more you want to make sure you take the road, so that they either follow behind you until it's safe to pass by using the other lane, if it's a two-lane road, or they wait. Otherwise, they make stupid decisions. There's a guy who has a channel called Not Just Bikes. He talks about how these stop signs are kind of a pain. For bicycles, they're a pain because you don't really need to stop on a bicycle because you're not going to kill anybody. You should just be allowed to yield at those intersections, meaning slow down, check, go. We're not talking about blasting through at 50 kilometers an hour. You know, you check and you go. You shouldn't have to be required to stop and put your foot down. Bicycles are not cars. It's cars that kill. And listen to the sound as this car comes by, because now it's very nice and quiet right now. As he comes by, all you hear is the noise from the internal combustion engine. Just very noisy. It doesn't belong. It's a foreign sound. Listen to that. It's a foreign sound. Even the animals are bothered by those noises. We have the squirrels in our ear. When cars come by, they get a little skittish. You know, that's how foreign cars are to the environment. We've just gotten accustomed to the noise. They're very noisy. So you see where I am on the road, basically. Right where that right tire of that car is, that's where I am. This is my lane. I'm riding this lane. When we get to the corner, I'm going to get in the left lane because I'm going left on a two-lane road. And this stretch, which I will show in post-production, most of the time people will put their bikes in their cars to drive to the start of the Greenway that you're going to see. And I'm also going to point out how poorly marked the signs are. If you don't know where the Greenway is, you can't find it. So these are the things that deter people. And I will also show that some of the places that are nearby, like Starbucks and other places, we could walk to them from where we live, but there is no road, there's no sidewalk, nothing. You couldn't even drive in that direction. They make everybody go one way in, one way out of the subdivision. Then they wonder why we have traffic. So I guess I call myself, I got orange pilled, and that's what the fans of Not Just Bikes say, because once I saw his videos, I started looking at where I live differently, because there's no reason for it to be laid out like this. It's too limiting, you know. So it opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I'm coming to an intersection. I'm in the left lane here. There are two lanes here where I'm on right now. I'm going to be turning left. So I'm in my left lane. There's a four-way stop sign. Nobody's here. I'm here. I'm gonna go. See, that's clear. This guy's just getting to the corner. There's a school over there called Klein Oak. Now this is the road that you encounter a lot, especially when you go out of town. And this is where you want to ride, right here. You want to make them go over that yellow line as they come by. Right now there's nobody behind me, but in the morning early, this road is busy. This is the road I'm taking to go to a subdivision across another, that's a busy road up in the distance called Gosling. Those of you who live in the area, you're familiar with it. This road I'm on is called Root Road. There's a car behind me. This thing just beeped. See that? And most of the trail, I can't do more than 15 miles an hour. So I'm staying around 15 miles an hour. It's a comfortable warm-up pace. You shouldn't have to kill yourself because you're on the road. So my position forced this driver to use the other lane. Now all of them are gonna do that. That's why we got jails and we got police and we got judges. Do not try to prove a point. They do something stupid, get out of the way. That's why I've got all these gadgets like my mirror, and I've got the radar that beeps. You see them doing something unsafe, get out of the way, get the license number, and report the incident. Because most of them live nearby. They will be visited by the local constable. So this is Gosling. There's a tollway on the right. You probably can't see it behind those trees. So I'm going to be going left. So I'm going to get in the left lane for this light. The problem with these kind of intersections, when there's no car in front of you, they don't pick up bikes. So I don't even know if it's going to change for me. But you got to be ready to go. So it changed for that guy, so it probably didn't even pick me up because he wouldn't have gotten the left turn there. This is the left turn from where I came. There's the tollway over there. That's the 99. It's a new tollway they built. They just built it and now they're adding more lanes because it's full already. So it's just clear. If everybody's forced to use cars, you cannot build enough roads because there will be more cars. It's really that simple. But they haven't figured it out yet over here. They keep building roads. We got the I-10, the mid I-10 is so large and it's crowded. Shortly after they built it, the actual travel times are less than before the construction. So building roads is not the key. Getting people to have other choices is the key. It's warming up nicely. It was very cold this morning, so the light's going yellow here. I'm gonna be ready to go soon. This is a busy road. So I'm taking the right lane here. I've got to go to the next light in the distance. It's about a kilometer. About 1,000 meters. I'm gonna put the camera behind so you can see, because I'm looking in my mirror. That truck was forced to move over because of where I am. That's the UPS truck. So by staying here, I'm making it clear that this is my lane. And you know, not everybody's going to cooperate all the time, but if you ride over by the curb there, you encourage them to by default want to pass you in your lane. So it helps that I'm leaving a little later in the morning, and also it helps if you find a quieter route to get where you want to go. Because this is a busy road in the morning. Everybody's going north into the woodlands. It's packed. So this is a street called Mossy Oaks. Now you see there is no sign here that says anywhere on this route I've been riding so far, nothing says Spring Creek Greenway. And that's where I'm headed. So why is it a secret? Why is the Greenway not marked? That's the thing that really bugs me. We've been riding almost 3 kilometers, a little over a mile, almost 2 miles. And there is no sign that tells me where the Greenway is. Now I happen to know where it is because I looked on the map, and plus I'm familiar with this area. So we used to ride through here before the Greenway was here. I turned right, no signs. Nothing tells you we have a Greenway here. Now, even if you lived in one of these houses and you weren't a serious cyclist, you wouldn't even know you have a Greenway unless you happen to go to the park. I'm gonna get behind this guy because I'm turning here. Okay, this is the Fox Hollow West subdivision. Okay, so I'm gonna turn here. As you can see, nothing tells you what's back here. We got a hidden treasure for people who may want to go out now. Granted though, this is for recreation. This is not for you to go to the store or whatever. It leads nowhere other than it connects to other parks between here and a city called Humboldt, Texas, which is nice to have. It's better than nothing. But look, how do you find it? No signs. I mean, I'm familiar with the area, and I had to come here and look for it, not realizing because Paul Ilonga had brought me from the other way, because he lives a little east of here. He had brought me in the opposite direction. That's how I encountered it. Well, how many people are going to have somebody that will show them where it is? So it doesn't make any sense. As you can see, this is just a quiet neighborhood. Nothing tells you where it is. And you will see how odd it is when we do get there. Even though I know where it is, the entrance to it per se is hidden. Like a hidden treasure. So why spend the money on a Greenway and then hide it from the public? Because even people in these homes that are not cyclists necessarily, serious cyclists, they wouldn't know where it is. Or if they happen to visit a park, they might stumble upon it. So right here now, see where, look at that. You see that dead end? The park is beyond that dead end. But to get to it, you got to turn here. That's when you know, oh, there's a park. Still, even though there's a park there, nothing here tells you that park is part of the Spring Creek Greenway. I think that is just a big missing feature. They need to sign it. So watch. This is called Rothwood Park. So this Greenway goes quite a ways, probably 40-something kilometers, connecting other parks. This one is called Rothwood Park. So from here now, it's going to start the trail. You can see where it says 20 speed limit. It allows cars. This is where people drive. By this point, you probably have seen my sign in the post-production where I posted the distance from my home to here. It's about 5 kilometers, about 3 miles. Most people, like that person leaving, would drive, and they have a place for them to park right here. All this is here. You see, this is somebody who drove with this car, this Kia. You see the bike rack on it? And they're riding this trail here, but they drove here. Why? Because our roads are unfriendly. They don't want to deal with what I was dealing with. They don't want to take the lane because they don't trust these people to behave accordingly. Nobody wants to deal with that. So when you separate the bike traffic from other traffic, more people who are not serious enthusiasts will get out on a bike to go places. Especially if it goes to the mall or the grocery store or whatever. It just makes sense. And then that would mean fewer cars on the road. Because most of us have cars. You know? I have several cars. I don't use them. They're sitting on trickle chargers. So this is the path now because Paul had brought me here. I happen to know that this will connect to the Spring Creek Greenway Trail. Now even here, there is no sign that tells me how extensive this network is. So even if you lived in the neighborhood that I just came out of and you happen to find this path, you wouldn't know that this path joins the greater Spring Creek Trail. Yeah, there we go. This is the first sign. You see that? That's the first sign. This sign should be on my entire journey here. We should have had this sign in strategic spots. That's what I don't understand. And here it is, right here, Spring Creek Greenway. No motor vehicles. So that path now is joining the greater network of Spring Creek Greenway Trail. This goes from Klein, which is where I live in Spring, to an area called Humboldt, Texas. That's like going from between 2 or 3 cities, so to speak. I mean, it's far. So the total route is almost, say, 80 kilometers, depending on how you do it. It could be 80 kilometers round trip. So that's, 40K one way. The speed limit there is 10. I mean, I don't. But so now this is just the beginning. Now you're gonna see more. When I exit, I will show you how this thing just ends and you don't know where to go. But check this out. Is this beautiful or what? Look at this. Okay, look at this. So if you're coming out for leisure, this connects to multiple parks for the next 25 miles or 40 kilometers. You go through several little villages and towns, and you go through multiple parks where they have restrooms and so forth that you can use. I mean, look at this pavement. Why deal with cars? So if you're riding for leisure or you're training, this is the perfect place to come. If you come during the week, nobody's here. And this is a cold morning. We're about probably 15 Celsius, 14, 15 Celsius, 59, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, if that. But here it always feels cooler. That's why I'm wrapped up. These trees, you gotta wrap up. This is beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's like you're in the country within a metropolis. They've got a bench over there. Some people sit there and swing, I'm doing this so you can see what we have. So we have this hidden treasure that is not advertised. You really have to go out of your way to find it, or maybe stumble upon it, or someone tell you about it. That's not the way you advertise amenities. I can guarantee you very few people where I live know about this trail. Now, this piece that I'm on is very poorly connected to the next piece that goes under 45, and you will see that later. So I want to show you guys this sign here. It says trail courtesy, bicycles used to pedestrian and horses. Pedestrian only yield to horses. That's the way to do it. We don't need stop signs. People just need to be nice to each other. A lot of cities in the world have very few stop signs. They have turn circles, they have yield signs. It just makes more sense to work together on the roads to avoid a wreck. Nobody wins. It's like war. Nobody wins a war. There's no point in having a crash. Look at this. This is beautiful or what? Look at the house way up there. Private home. These are running behind neighborhoods, businesses. The woodlands is to my left, which is north. And this is running through by the Spring Creek, which runs through most of northeastern Harris County. It's a great place to come to train. I love coming here mostly on Fridays when I'm taking it easy, depending on what time of day I come, because a lot of times it's not this clear. But like today, it's cold, it's early. Look at that, look at that, look at that buck. Wow, he went over the fence too. That is cool. And they live out here because there's a lot of trees and woods. So you gotta watch out for them. We do have a lot of trails that are exclusive for horses. This is a climb here. It says 2%, I think it's more. It kicked up. It's 3% now. Yeah, I knew it was more. 4%. Hey guys, morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great.
Have a good one.
Thank you. When people are not in cars, they behave like people. I don't know what it is about cars that just makes people a little more unfriendly than normal. You know, generally. But you saw that. I don't know those people. Never seen them before in my life. But they're outside walking their dogs. They see another human being, and we just share a nice greeting. And she's laughing because she saw me working on that climb. You know, this is my zone 2 day, but I pushed it on that climb just for the heck of it. And look at this, we're descending here. So on the way back, this would be a nice little climb the other way. This is beautiful, man. I didn't know this was here until Paulie Long Guy showed me. And then one of the riders that ride with us, Jerry, I would talk to him about these things that I'm noticing. Maybe he can influence them, the decision makers. But he was involved. Jerry Ludner was involved in some of the planning and execution of part of the trail. So I don't know which specific junction, but this is the newest part. This is on the west side. We're west of 45. This is the newest link to what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing today. I got other things going on, but I just wanted to show you what we have in our area and how we can make it more accessible and more visible to people who may not be serious cyclists. Because everybody in the area has bicycles. Americans have bicycles sitting in the garage, hanging in the rafters. They're not using them because they're apprehensive about getting on the road and being buzzed by cars. So if you give them places like these, they will start using the bikes more. And then the roads will be less full of cars. And then the people who have to drive can use them, because if you're going only 1 or 2 miles, like where I turned off of that main street, that's the most we travel to go to the grocery store, you know? And another thing about our weird zoning is that the grocery stores are not necessarily very close, and where they are, you can't access them. You can be in a cul-de-sac behind a grocery store, nowhere to walk to it. You got to go 1.5 miles in a car to get to the other side. It's weird. You know, we got a Starbucks 800 meters from our house. I can't get to it. I got to go almost 2 miles in a car before I can get to the entrance for it. Because everybody wants the neighborhood to be closed off. They don't want people going through. They seem to think when people are walking, it increases crime. How much stuff can you carry by foot? And how far? Exactly. And if everybody's walking, their eyes on the street. So there'll be less opportunities for people to steal stuff. Because everybody's outside. My neighborhood is like a ghost town. Everybody's in the houses. Lived in a place for more than 10 years, don't even know your neighbors. It's just, you know, so check this out. That's probably a retention pond that was built. It's beautiful. When we have a lot of rain, it fills up. Look at this. This is pretty or what? I mean, look at this. Who wouldn't want to get on their bike if you had this nearby? Well, you saw what I had to traverse to get to it. And then, now, you know, so most people will put the bike in the car, like I showed you that car in the parking lot, drive there, ride this, then go and put the bike back on the car to drive 3 miles to their house. Sheesh, you'd be able to ride from your house, like I did. The cool thing about this radar thing that Garmin made, it picks up other cyclists that are coming up behind you. So when I'm on the trail and I'm taking it easy, it picks up other cyclists that are coming up behind me so I can stay far to the right so they can go by if they're going faster than I am. And I don't chase people because I'm on the trail and somebody coming and going faster. I do see people trying to catch me. I can see them in my mirror, but I just do what I'm doing. And a lot of them can't, even on my endurance days. How you guys doing?
Doing well, yourself?
I'm doing great. Beautiful day. So look at all that. Is that beautiful or what? So we have, this is in Spring, Texas. It's not the most bike friendly place in the world, but we got this nice recreational trail on our Greenway, the Spring Creek Greenway. I think we just need to put some signs and let our neighbors know that we have this stuff. Because even those people that were walking in the park earlier, if you don't know this thing is here or you don't know about the trail, you don't know how far it goes. Because on foot, they're not going to be coming this far. But on a bicycle, man, why not? You could do 3 hours and not see a car. Is that great or what? So yeah, I'm sure this is not the only place in North America that has something like this, but I'm showing it because we just need to make it more visible so everybody can find it, not just the diehards. Just a few tweaks they could do to make it more visible. I believe this is one of the areas that kind of bothered me. See that gravel path? That has a sign from the other side to lead you to this trail, but who wants to ride a bike over there if it's not a mountain bike or something? So now the trail has ended and I'm on this little path behind these homes, but I'm still on supposedly the Greenway trail. Of course you saw no signs. That's the issue. I'm going to show you something else. Nice bridge here. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at it. Okay. You can hear the birds. The hard packed dirt there. People walk that way. This is all paved. We're in an area that is dominated by businesses and small shops. So we do have walkable areas. This is a very walkable little village. Springwoods Village Parkway. Paulilonga lives a few miles from here. This is an area that they could make it where you can walk everywhere. So it's good to see these pathways. But my issue is now, from where I started, what tells me where the rest of the Spring Creek Trail is that goes to Humboldt, Texas? Because this is just the beginning. I've only done 10 kilometers, 6 miles, you know, and I'm looking to do another 19. So what tells me? If I go right, I'm going away from it because that's going to take me south. Right here, there should be a sign that tells me where to go. There's none. Okay, I happen to know where it is, so I'm going to go this way. I'm not going to get on the road yet, just to show you something. I could use the road. I'm going to stay on this path. Because that's a divided road. There should be a sign along here that tells me to go left, because that's where the Greenway Trail continues, down there by the last Exxon campus. Exxon has a lot of business offices on here. So nothing here tells me where the Greenway Trail is. As you can see, nothing. There are no signs. So I'm gonna go over here and then I'm gonna wait because I want to go that way. So I came across and I waited. So as you can see, I could push that symbol to open this. This road goes to where the trail is. I'm not gonna get on the trail here. That's what you see on the sidewalk. I'm gonna use the road because this whole place is overbuilt. For the volume of traffic they expected, did not happen. Business slowed down. You see that trail to the right? It parallels this road. This is gonna take me to the other junction for the Springwood Greenway. But as you can see, no signage. It's like a big secret. We're talking almost 20 miles of trail and they don't even mark it. So I'm gonna turn up the camera until I get to it so I can show you how camera on earlier. You see this trail right here? That sidewalk? That's actually not a sidewalk. That's a path, a multi-use path, which parallels this road, taking us towards the Greenway Trail. Of course, it's not marked. So if you didn't know ahead of time, why would you be on that trail? You could have taken any of the other trails that would take you to a bunch of dead ends, because they just, certain areas, they just end. This one does not, because they actually designed it to go all the way to where I'm going to join the Greenway Trail. You can see how wide this road is, and it's never busy. They built it for cars. They didn't care about pedestrians or bicycles or anything. Granted, they put that stuff way over there, but no signage. If that doesn't go to anything, why would anybody use it? Unless you live out here and you're going for a little stroll. The trails need to connect to places that people want to go, just like the roads do. Otherwise, you will not have a lot of people using it. And then you do build one and then you hide it. This is where it comes out, it continues. I'm staying on the road. It's a little faster than swerving around all those trees. And this lane, you can tell, this lane is wide. It's wider than the left lane. You see the left lane over there is smaller than this lane. They made this lane about 9 feet. So there's plenty of room to where you could share with a car. You see where I'm sitting. And look at the rest of the road that's left. I don't know if you can tell. I'm gonna see if this will help. There's the trail continuing. So it's parallel to this road. I have been here before, and that's why I decided to make this video, just to show the disconnect. There's no reason why we need 2 lanes here. This lane could be a bike lane. They could have a nice wide sidewalk here for people to walk to these stores. This is where we come on Sunday. Over there, there's a Starbucks, a bunch of stores. So, you know, if you built this properly, people could stroll to these stores, not have to drive cars. See all the stores, there are stores and businesses over there. There's the trail continuing. So for those who are uncomfortable being on the road, they could be right between those trees going towards the trail. So it's there, they just don't tell you how to use it, how to get to it. It took me some trial and error to find it. And it was simply because Paulie Longa brought me out here and showed it to me. So I knew which direction to go. But I literally had to come back and ride this sidewalk right here that you see. Now it's really the multi-use path. You know, I rode it all the way to where we're going now. And when we get there, it will blow your mind as to how poorly set up it is. Because the continuation is on the opposite side of the street. The trail, the Greenway Trail, is on the left. You see how wide this road is? It's always empty. There's just no volume of traffic on this road, ever. That's the trail continuing. You would split there and come here, okay? Now, that's where it is, over there. So how do I get there? See, I know where it is. If you came off this trail, what would you do? You'd have to come here like this, knowing where it is. You'd have to push this signal right here so you can cross this street. Because the trail is over there. Nothing marks it. That thing that looks like a sidewalk, that's the Spring Creek Greenway Trail. Blows my mind. The traffic here is now, this is an Exxon compound. They got 3 offices here. Some you can see they said no trucks, no bicycles, no pedestrians. So only cars. You see what I'm talking about? This is a major corporation, only allow cars. Nobody can walk in there. So even if their workers wanted to find other way to get to work, they basically don't allow it. Makes no sense. I'm doing this just to wait, because ordinarily I would have gotten in the left lane over there where that car is. to turn and then take that. But I wanted to show you guys that if you don't know that that's the trail and you're in the right lane as a cyclist, this is the other option. You come here and then you stand forever and wait, hopefully for this light to change. It should change because those two cars are coming out of the Exxon station compound. That compound does not allow people to walk in. It does not allow deliveries by truck. It does not allow bicycles. So they're basically saying the only way you can get in there is in a car. Which makes sense, and the Exxon sells gas, right? And what do they call this road? Energy Drive. I don't know if you can see that. I will try to film it when I go across on the sign over there. So it didn't change for those guys. It should have changed. They're turning left. So I'm gonna get in the middle, but this is all screwed up. I've been standing here too long. That's how screwed up our city is. It's not set up for anything other than cars. So you see where it says Energy Drive? That's Exxon. Look at those three signs. I'm gonna film it. Let's go across. I've been standing here too long. So they only want cars to go in here. This is 2024. No people, no bicycles, no truck, just cars. And this is the Greenway Trail now. It looked like a sidewalk back there. And then you come on it, look at this. Boom. But no way to know. No way to know. And this is well made. I mean, look how wide this is. You can tell it's new. This is a newer piece. And this goes up to the highway. I didn't film the highway from the road. So I'm laughing because how can you build a community that says you can only come here in a car? Wow. But it makes sense because you got to buy gas to have a car. So Exxon making sure they stay in business. Not that they have to try real hard in North America. So look at this. It looks like a sidewalk, but this is a Greenway Trail. It's not marked at all. I mean, this is nice. So if Paul had not brought me here, I would not have found that piece. And this is new, you can tell. But how do you build it and not put a sign over there? But they took the time to put a sign that said, no people, no trucks, no bicycles. But they couldn't put a sign that said, this is the Greenway Trail. And Exxon is involved in this project. I mean, come on, man. As ESPN says, as the guys on ESPN said, come on, man. Really? Look at this. This is nice. You spend all this money and you hide it? Please. And you see it. So basically, this is restricted access at this point. But no car would get on there from where I got on. It looked like the size of a sidewalk. You couldn't fit a car there except a small car. Now, this is what I like about right here. This is older, but they built the infrastructure to go under. This is Interstate 45. And like most of our highways, it was done to separate. It separates the east side from the west side. Now look at what they also did. I'm not sure who they built that for, but look where it ended. Nowhere. They spent the money to pave that sucker, put bars there, and it just stops there. There had to be a plan. I mean, you don't build anything without a plan. So what was the plan? Where was that supposed to go? It's a walkway down there. I just love that they did this. I mean, look how wide this is. You know, they could put some lights under here or something, but, you know, this is under Interstate 45 we're passing. Interstate 45 goes all the way to the Woodlands, up to Huntsville, to Dallas, Texas. We just went under the major artery, Interstate 45, and it dumps you on the other side. This is great. Didn't have to deal with lights or anything. That's Interstate 45 there. But look at look at this extensive walkway. I showed you where it ended. So why would anybody walk over there when it goes nowhere? Why build it? You know, I guess the plan, maybe they'll come back and add a piece to it in the future. But it's just like, finish the job. You're gonna spend the money. Like building, you know, you building a house, finish the job. Build a road that goes nowhere. So now, look at this. This is something you can just, you and your friend or partner or whoever can get on a bike and just come out here and just be at peace and not be too far from the city. I've only ridden 13 kilometers. Look at this. We just left that freeway. Now look at what we have here. That looks like a squirrel on the side of the road. I doubted the camera could pick him up. So he blends into the vegetation. So only the diehards or people who have been brought here or people who hit it from the other parks, because they connect to other parks. It goes from park to park. And I'm hoping I'll be able to show it on a map in post-production. So this is really for leisure, but it connects to neighborhoods to where you could come on here and go to a store somewhere in another town or another part of town. This goes under the Hardy Toll Road to the road FM 1960. I mean, look how pretty this is. So that's my only gripe, and you know, hopefully I'll get a chance to find out. I'll point these things. I'm making this video just to show that, you know, that they've done a great job here. We just need to let people know about it, and maybe they can add signs. And I don't really know who to contact, but since I heard that Jerry was involved, the next time I see him, I will mention these things to him and see if he can influence some change. They just need to add the signs. Now, when we're going back west, I'm gonna save some footage so I can film it. It's marked from that Exxon exit. They marked the westerly piece that I was on first. So going west, they have signs. Coming east, they don't. And then before you get to the first park from west, there's no signs in our village in Klein. So how do you not let the people in the nearby villages know that they have this nice resource? This is great for recreation or anything. Saw a lot of sports cyclists going the other way. This is great. I mean, look at these bumps. These are 2 to 4% bumps. And you can do your little short intervals. You beat yourself up as much as you want on this thing. It is not very flat. Guy's cleaning something off of here. I guess somebody did something. You okay?
No, I'm fine. I came through here earlier and I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize how many rocks were down here.
Yeah,
So,
I'm actually filming for my channel on YouTube. I have a cycling channel called Veloharmony.
Okay.
I'm filming the fact that they built this beautiful trail and there are no signs. I live in Klein, and unless you know it's here, it's a
you don't
big
know.
secret.
Yeah.
You don't know where to find the entrance. Even the people living in the neighborhood for the first park near Goslin Road, they don't even know it's here.
Yeah. No,
So I'm filming it because one of the guys who worked on the project rides with us. His name is Jerry. He works for Exxon.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him know that. How do you build this thing and then hide it? And then the entrance at Exxon looks like a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Then boom, it opens. I'm like, where's the sign to tell you it's there?
Yeah, the spring Greenway.
Yeah, I'm like, you know. So when I saw you picking that up, I thought I would just
No, there was a
film
whole
that.
bunch. It looks like when they worked on the railroad here recently, they all fell down. And I was like,
Yeah, they
no, I
probably
came
didn't.
through here earlier and I almost ate it. And I was
I'm
like,
glad
I-
you
I
stopped and took it off. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I do the same thing if I see boulders and stuff, get them off the road. But yeah, so that's why I'm filming. I will load it on YouTube so people can see, because there's a channel called Not Just Bikes. He lives in the Netherlands and he talks about how their biking infrastructure. Now, this is not going to take you to Walmart or anything, but it's good for recreation because it hits all these parks.
Yeah.
All the way to Humboldt. I'm like, why would you build this and hide it from us? I'm right in Klein Oak, and I don't even know it's here unless my friend had to show me that it was here.
Yeah.
And I ride a lot.
Me and my son are usually on it together and we stop at the parks. But
Yeah, the parks are there, so it's like they need to sign it. Yeah, take care.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. So yeah, whenever I'm riding, if there's a boulder on the road or something that could hurt a cyclist, I stop, especially when it's safe, and get it off the road. The other thing I'm going to do with my group is I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to set up speed groups. Although I've been against it, I think it's the way to go now. I've gotten a lot of requests and a lot of interest in setting up different speed groups for the Saturday ride. So I'm gonna try it. And what I will be doing is letting them know, stop all this yelling about hole, keep the yelling down, point. Because all that yelling and all that noise is not necessary. You don't need to say stopping. People need to pay attention. And when they see you stopping, you can signal with your hand. They should be paying attention. They don't need to hear that you're stopping. They can see you're stopping. They should see around you. They should see that there's a reason for you to stop and be aware. People relax too much when they get in a group. Nobody's there to see for you. You know, we had an unfortunate incident. We lost a cyclist who fell and broke his neck. Someone fell in front of him. It's an unfortunate incident, you know, in our area at one of the group rides. So we just need to be more orderly, and we'll see how it works out. But as you can see, this stuff works. This is beautiful out here, just very lovely. This is it. This is what you deal with until you hit a park, you know. And they have, like, at each park you hit, there's restrooms. So if you need to use the restroom, it's there. And most of this place is so private, you just need to take a leak, you can pull off in the side and do it. You know, I mean, you can see. You ride for miles before you come across anybody. And I'm sure it depends on when you come. This is a Thursday morning. I moved all my appointments to the afternoon today, so I'm able to come in and get some K's in my legs. There's a railroad track she was talking about. They were repairing it. You know, we got all these tracks, we got rail. We should have tram lines in the streets. It was here. That's how this country was built. We should have ways to get around other than a car. Because if we did, I would get rid of my car. I don't drive that much to deal with all the costs associated with owning a car. Use that money for other, I can use that money for more kid or other things, or a nicer bike, or get a cargo bike. I have an old Schwinn that I want to use to carry stuff. I've restored it, it's fully functional. I need to put some mud guards on it. Use it to go to the store. I mean, nothing stops me from taking my bike to the store, but nowhere to park the thing. They don't even have bike parking, or you can lock your bike and walk in the store. So this is another way you can get out. They've closed that gate, but that's another area or neighborhood. So all along this trail, you can connect to other areas and neighborhoods. Although that one's closed, but you can get there. I think there is a park coming up that you get to that road if you needed to. All this trail goes through a bunch of parks. So it connects all the parks. It's really cool. I just like that I can ride for 3 hours, 4 hours, not see one car. So that little, let's see, it's about probably 5 miles from the entrance of that park. So that means only 10 miles of this route do I have to deal with other road users. That's awesome. I mean, that's like 20 minutes, you know, at my Zoom 2 pace. And those of you interval people, look at this. I think this is at least 5%. It gets there in a hurry too. Let's see if GPS picks it up correctly. It says 3. I thought it was more. 3%, okay. So when I come on days when I want to work, on those little bumps, I don't downshift. I work the gear harder since they're short to build the strength in my legs. Today's ride is 150 beats per minute or less. That's it. That's the goal. I'm not using a power meter because I'm not really that interested in that today. So whenever I pass people on the trail, I'm always in a mode to where I'm prepared to stop if necessary. I didn't need to say anything to them. I just gave them plenty of room. They looked like they were holding whatever line they chose to. And for the most part, you can move as quickly as you want on these roads. They say 15 miles an hour, most of the areas here, about 25K. About what I'm doing is like 27. I ride around 16 to 18 most of the time. I do my hardest efforts on the uphills, so the speed is low, but the effort is there. See, that's a horse trail. See that sign there? That's a horse trail right there. So you got to look out for horses when they have those signs. There are certain areas where they'll tell you, watch out for horses 150 yards up or whatever. Or 150 feet. I believe a yard is about 3 feet or something like that. So it's close to, 150 feet is kind of like, I like to do things in the metric system, but around here, they still do the imperial. So 50 meters, let's say, is 150 feet. So you see right there, that little bump on my hard days when I come up here, when I see that, I don't downshift. I work the gear. I don't let my cadence drop either, because it's short. I believe that is the Hardy toll road where it hits 99, the tollway. Up there, so you don't have to deal with those. You go under them, just nice and scenic. So today I'm going an hour and a half out and an hour and a half back. I need to be back by 1. It's almost 11, 10:49 in the morning. It has a slight false flat here, so this is not a noisy area because of this freeway. Cars are noisy. Listen to that. Just ruin the ambiance. All this real estate under here just wasted because they put this crap up here to move people through the city. We gotta find a better use of these spaces, man. So this is nice that it's here, but man, think about it. For all the miles of interstates we have through the U.S., what are you doing under them? They're just there. That's why they can't repair them, because the infrastructure does not support it. There's no one there paying taxes for it because you have not maximized the area. So I kept the camera on to show you all this. There is a park in here. This is one of the parks that we hit. Has a restroom. I'm gonna turn here just to show you. It says restroom. So if you need to use the restroom, the trail connects you. These trails are not open overnight. I believe they close at 7 p.m. or something like that. So this is a park. So all the parks, the trail connects to all the parks for about 25 miles one way. That's my estimation anyway. So that's the restroom over there, that building over there. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna stay on this path here because it takes me directly there. A little play area here. That's a retention pond, doubling as a lake. You don't do that in our area. The whole runoff. Last time I came, there was nobody at the park. I see people sitting out there today because the last time I came, it was overcast. I think it was Tuesday. It was overcast. It was cold, but nobody came out. Something about a sunny day. Looked like somebody's having an event. Something going on. art in a park. I knew there was an event, but usually there's nobody here. So that's the restroom right here. I think that's cool. So on your ride, you know you've got a place, especially in the winter, for a pee break. Restrooms are clean. So I'm gonna leave my machine right here. Go where the hombres go. So this route actually works for a lot of the training we do. Us sports cyclists on the sporting rides, because you come out here. This is about, let's see, 18 kilometers into the ride. That's probably about 13, 14 miles or something. So if you need to stop me in the winter, we do. Just don't, you don't sweat as much. So, you can stop over there. There's a full restroom, men and women. And then I'm heading back to the trail. Look at this area. I had ridden for like 13 miles before that's the first car, I think. Other than the guys who were working in the park. See, Spring Creek Greenway. Signs there. Yeah. But we got to get more signs out so people can know about this thing. Because when more people start using it, we can get funding. You know, we need to get more regular folks, not us die-hard nuts. You know, regular folks need to come out here on the weekend with their bikes, because it's good for everything, for the bike stores and everything. How you doing? So even the bike shops will benefit if more people start riding their bikes out here. There will be more bikes needing repair because people are using them, you know, fixing flats or whatever else that occurs, versus the bikes that are just sitting in garages and get dirty and dusty. I get a lot of those bikes that need tune-ups, just been sitting. And so I don't charge them a whole lot, just kind of lube the cables and stuff. Good morning. You're not gonna find me running unless somebody's chasing me. That's not gonna happen. But you see, everybody's out here working out. It's good for us to get out. That's the only way we're gonna get fitter as a society. We gotta get people out of these cars. And as you saw, people are friendlier when they're outside. Even in big cities, when you go inside a, let's say a pool hall or someplace, people behave differently than out on the street where they're fighting for parking and all that nonsense. Something about these cars just change our personality. And I think it's because we're stuck in traffic, and so we're just grouchy. And then we get places and, you know, we're in a hurry. So maybe we'll get fewer people driving and the roads are clearer. Everybody who's driving will be in a better mood when they get to their destination, because they didn't have to sit going nowhere. I hate waiting. Even when I travel, when I did air travel for my job in the past, when the flights were delayed, I just got tired just sitting in the airport for hours waiting on when we'd leave. It blew my mind as to how worn out I would become from all the waiting. I'm like, why am I so tired when I'm doing nothing? And I don't know if it's just the way your body reacts to the uncertainty of when you're gonna get home to see your family or do whatever else you wanted to do when you're traveling, you know. But something about waiting for delayed flights just will wear me out. You know, so I still don't know why. Maybe if you do, share it in the comments. I don't know why we get so tired waiting in the airports, because I'd wait for hours coming home from work. So I'd go every Sunday, come back every Thursday, and there was always a delay. And I would get home wiped out just from sitting in the airport on my butt. Never could figure it out. Don't really know why. I may have to look it up. So those of you who know, please share. But that's what it is. Look at this. It's just lovely. I mean, just this alone, man, you don't even need to, it just lifts up your spirits. Just being out here, it's great. Right here, they're letting you know to slow down 10 miles an hour because there are horses on the trail for the next 150 yards. About 150 meters, I'm estimating downward, because a yard is about 3 feet, I believe. Quicksand, they're letting you know all that stuff on there. Quicksand in the area, stay on the marked trails. That's what that sign said. Look at this, is that beautiful or what? This is Spring Creek. It's a creek that runs throughout the area here. So right here it says horses up ahead. That's what that sign says. That's another piece over there. I haven't been on that one. I don't really know where it goes. I'll probably check it out one of these days, but not today. It's a little piece of the trail. A lot of these trails, you come down here, they kind of have loops near the parks, so you can turn around easily to go back. But I just wanted to show that. It's beautiful out here. So you legends, I had to stop to film this nonsense. See this sign? It says stop, cyclist dismount. This is our trail. Now they want us to get off the bike and walk the bike. Why? Look at this road. I've been here many times. There's nothing here. It goes nowhere. I'm going to show you on this side. Nowhere. It looks like a cul-de-sac. I'm actually going to ride there so you can see it because I'm making a point. Let's see where this goes, okay? And I don't give a crap where it was going or where it wasn't going. These are a few trucks. I guess people come here and park. There's a dead end over there, okay? This is a freaking road to nowhere. They got the nerve to tell us to dismount. They have no trouble slowing us down. Now look at the stupid signs they put here for the motorists. Cyclist crossing. But it tells them caution because they're not supposed to stop. What they should do here is this trail should be like a speed bump right here. This road should be higher than this level here. It shouldn't come down. It should be a speed bump for these guys. So you don't need a sign. If you put a speed bump here and make the road level to the height of our trail, we keep going, they slow down. There ain't nothing going on here, but they want us to stop. So of course everybody ignores it because it's stupid. But I'm making a point because they have no trouble stopping everybody else. But God forbid they have to stop motorists. That road to nowhere, they're telling us to stop. That's the nonsense in North America I can't stand. They wonder why they're all out of shape sitting in these stupid cars. There's a road that's not even used and they want us to stop. How stupid is that? I'm sorry, it annoys the heck out of me. They want to stop everybody else. God forbid they do anything to slow motorists down. That's why thousands of us die every year on the roads because they want to rush everybody in these cars instead of slowing them down where they should slow down. I just had to film that. So I get a bit passionate about stuff like that because it makes no damn sense. This is a trail, and the one road in the middle of freaking nowhere to go nowhere for their work people and whoever else wants to drive there to start their ride. They want us to stop for them. We're supposed to dismount and walk our bikes. It makes no damn sense. Of course, no one pays attention to the signs. It's stupid. Just like any stupid law you come up with, nobody's going to pay attention to it. It just blows my mind. Like, what the hell is cars are always the default. In that situation, the car needs to have a speed bump there. You don't need a sign. They'll slow down to tear up the undercarriage of their car. Our trail should be higher than the road. They'll know just by the way you build the infrastructure that it should slow down. You don't need a sign there for anybody. I mean, you can have a yield sign for us or have a yield sign for them. This leads to the park. I'm on my way back, and you can see that they marked the trail going west. And I will show you the rest of the disconnect when I get on the west side. There's another park that it hits. But I just wanted to point out how easy it is for them to slow everybody else down or destroy everybody's towns and cities for these stupid cars. We're in the park and they want us to stop. Stop for what? For nobody. It's a dumb sign. Who's gonna dismount? I just wanted to film that to show you. They got these stupid signs at every park. because they talked to no cyclists when they decided to do that. It's these fat cats in their suits coming up with suggestions. I never rode a bike. How the hell should we stop? You're coming into a park. You're supposed to slow down. So you make our trail high, make it a speed bump for them. They will slow down for us, and put a caution sign for them, put a yield sign for them, or they should yield actually, and let them yield to cycles, just like you want us to yield to the horses. I hope it makes sense. You see all this fresh tar. I hope the camera does it justice, has more of a shine. The workmen are here patching this road because it's cracking. You can see all the old patching they've done in the past. They're trying to seal these holes so that water does not get in between the cracks and go under the asphalt. That's what's going on here. That's what you see there. Those are the guys working over there. So they're patching the road. Thank you, guys. So you can see all here, you see all the cracks. If they leave it like that when it rains, the water will go between these cracks right here, and it gets under the asphalt, and the road gets washed away from under the substructure. Gets kind of saturated, and the road will get washed away. So this way they can prolong the life of the road. That's what they're trying to do. It's really just a band-aid, because they need to just go ahead and take these sections out. It costs more money to do that, and put better rocks or whatever they need to support the asphalt, because this is not caused by bicycles. This is caused by not doing it right in the first place, because bicycles are not that heavy. It's cars that tear up the roads. This is just done poorly, and so now in a short while it's already cracking. We've got the same stuff going on a road that we like called Mount Moriah, that they built up in northwest Harris County going towards Dacus. The same thing's happening. The cracks are bigger. They've patched them, and it just continues. You can see that. They've patched it before, but you can see it's still cracking. The road will continue to separate as we get more rain, because in addition to just rain, we have flooding here, and parts of this trail gets covered in water when we have a lot of rain. I just wanted to point that out. That's what those guys are doing. I got a bit annoyed, I'm sure you could tell back there, by just the stupid signage. These are a series of parks that you've connected with these roads. The other with the trail, the other roads coming in are people coming to the park. They're already in the park grounds. Why the hell we need to stop for them? They need to stop for us. It's not a major thoroughfare. They're already at the destination. That's the nonsense they do. They don't want to slow cars down downtown. When the cars get off the freeway or roadways, like you guys call them in the UK, when you get off the roadway, you're at the destination. Slow your butt down. You're not making up any more time. You're already there. That's what they need to do, but they want to keep everybody moving fast. It doesn't help the merchants if cars are zooming by their stores. People who spend money on foot. You know, merchants want people to be walking around, come in, buy a drink or whatever it is they're selling. So, you know, keep that in mind. It's all these high-speed cars going through neighborhoods that don't add to the value of the neighborhood. It's just a thoroughfare. A thoroughfare, they call it. They're just going through. They're not adding to any economic value in the area. And that's why we can't keep the structures built, because nothing supports it financially. So the more roads we build, the more taxes we need to fix those roads, because they will age in 20, 30 years. And then if you don't have the infrastructure in place, like stores and other things, to support that tax base to support the repairs, they will just fall apart, and the cities go bankrupt. You know, so I will put the link for Not Just Bikes. You guys need to watch that channel. It's excellent. And you know, guy lives in Denmark, moved from Canada to Denmark to live where he didn't have to have a car to go everywhere. We need trains. Texas is big. We should have trains between all the cities and everywhere. They didn't know that, but they're in bed with the oil companies. Just they don't do the right thing. No wonder why we have all these social problems. We suffer for it. All these health problems. You know, so everything they do messes us over. You know, but yet we continue to put them in these positions. We need to change the whole thing. Change all of them. Vote them all out. Put new people in every time. and get rid of money from the government. I hate that crap. Talking about free speech. If I got a bigger wallet than you, who you think they will listen to? And the guy who's giving them $10 or the guy who's giving them $1 million? There you go. So it just doesn't work. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Things are good here, but they could be a lot better. There's no reason for everybody to have to buy a car. It's a pain. A lot of people can't afford to buy a car. People using a third of their income for transportation. It's ridiculous. We just need more choices. Right now, we're enslaved to the automobile. Since I'm leaving the trail, this is where I came in when we're going the other way. I'm going back. So it dumps you right here. And you basically have no choice but to get on the road. I mean, you could go across and take that path that brought you here, but there are no signs to even tell people. This is why people don't use the trails, because it's not marked. It tells it's not bike friendly. I mean, who want to cross this wide intersection? What that guy calls a stroad on strong towns and not just bikes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this road and go south, because it's not heavily traveled. It's overbuilt. They got these wide lanes. As I told you, the only cars can go in there. You see those signs? Exxon doesn't want anything to go in there but cars. I wonder why. What a bunch of jerks put up a sign like that. It's so stupid. So if somebody wanted to ride to work, they can't ride their bikes in there if they work for Exxon. Yeah, that's how environmental friendly they are. They're the reason we're enslaved by these cars. Big business and our corrupt politicians. We call it lobbying, and that makes it okay. They ought to call it bribery. That's really what it is. So you get the right keywords and you fill out the right forms, you can rob somebody and it'll be okay. So I'm going to take this road. This is Springwood Village Parkway. So if you were a visitor to the town and you didn't know, you wouldn't know where to go. As you can see now, so far there's no sign that's telling me where the Greenway is. So what happens is I'm going to look for it. I'm taking this lane, and most of the drivers are pretty good. They'll just use the other lane because this road is not that busy anyway. As I said, it's overbuilt. Exxon expected their business to boom, and it didn't happen. So they invested a lot in the infrastructure around here. Wider roads than we need. I'm still looking for the Greenway sign. This is another Exxon facility. They cover the whole area here. This one only says no trucks. Oh yeah, the sign over there for no bicycles between the bush. So only cars are allowed in there. Yeah, the 21st century. I'm surprised they let people walk in there. But it says no pedestrians. I'm not sure how this guy is gonna go back to work. Maybe he got a pathway over there, a guy who's crossing over there to go to lunch. There's a lot of stores over there, right there. Since they have no pedestrians, I guess no pedestrians can go over there. They have to use a pathway or something. That's why we're enslaved by the automobile industry. Automobile, oil and gas, they're all in cahoots. Keep us unhealthy. Human beings weren't meant to sit around. Your body's a machine. You're supposed to use it. If you bought a car and you didn't drive it, it would die. The brakes would rust out, the rotors would rust, everything. It's the same thing with your body. You don't use it, you pick up diseases that you ordinarily wouldn't have to get if you were active. Got major corporations here don't even encourage people to find other ways to get to work. So if you don't have a car, I guess you can't work for Exxon. There are the signs over there that says no pedestrians and no bicycles. It's funny. It's laughable when you think, that's the first sign that says Spring Creek Greenway. So from the time I exited, that's the first place we have a sign to tell me that I'm headed to the Spring Creek Greenway. Well, it gets more interesting because when I get there, there is no indication for the path that will join the Greenway. So when you're riding in the suburbs, you have to take the road. Do your best to find the quietest roads to use where possible. But when you are on the road, position yourself so that they know you're using this space. And most of them behave. But you know, there's always that one guy. That's why we got jails and judges, so don't try to prove a point. Get out of the way, get the license plate, call your local authorities. They'll pay him a visit. Him or her. It's mostly guys. It's rare if women behave like that. And they're mostly in trucks. Seems like a high percentage of jerks buy trucks. Coming up the Hallsworth Road over here. So now here's another sign that says Spring Creek Greenway, right turn. The problem with that is it takes me to a gravel path. So I'm gonna take it so you can see what I'm talking about. The nice path up there, there's no sign to tell me to get on that path over there. I'm gonna turn here just to show you. So they mark it. They got a beautiful sign over there that takes me down here. You can see this is overbuilt. Look, 3 lanes to go nowhere, just for Exxon people. It was built for Exxon employees. And their growth didn't happen as they thought. So it's just overbuilt. So the Greenway now, there's another sign over there by that U-turn. I'm gonna go in that lane through here. So the Greenway now says straight ahead. It takes you to, that's another, see now they got signs, but here's the thing. They didn't even take the decency to pave this crap, okay? Right there. So I know that there's a path over there, but I'm just gonna ride here, but this is it. This is the sign that takes you back to that piece that would lead to where I live. It's hard-packed gravel, it's not the end of the world, but why not pave it? You know, you take the time to put up this beautiful sign, and it's like they don't give a crap. I mean, look at this. They wouldn't do this for cars. And that's the, you see, that's another sign that tells me the Greenway. So coming this way, even though the sign started late, at least it's there. Because from that curb, you had no way to go but, I guess, south, unless you wanted to do a U-turn and go north. This is the path I'm talking about that you can pick up on the curb up there. So why would they not put a sign that would lead to that? And I think I know why. That's a private path. The neighborhood probably built that. And this is the Greenway. You can see the difference in the pavement. I'm gonna turn around so you can see it. So the Greenway here was supposed to, right here, they're supposed to pave this to go to the left. That's the Greenway. This connects to this neighborhood back here. You can see where the pavement, right here, almost burgundy. That's that neighborhood. And that's probably why they didn't put the sign to bring us on that path. So that's the sign for the Greenway. Not the end of the world, but you know, on a road bike, I don't want to ride on that crap. So coming this way, you can find it from there, but then when you're going that way, you can't find it. So what was the deal? Who worked on the project going east? Okay, so that's what I wanted to just film today to let you guys know. So there's a disconnect. And I think that the ridership would increase if they would complete the project, complete the connection as I showed you. But anyway, it's nice that it's out here. So even though Paul had brought me through here and I'm familiar with the area and everything, when I did start coming out here, I went and explored and tried to check it out. And then I saw all these shortcomings. I'm like, if I were new to the area, it'd be like impossible to find this gem. You know, I've been riding for up to 2 hours and 25 minutes without dealing with cars. You can't beat that. Most of the time during the week, my rides are like 90 minutes, you know, that's it. So I can come out here and have to deal with cars just on the beginning, you know. But from here, going back, it's the same problem. Once I exit this western stretch of the Greenway, there are no signs, even in that neighborhood I started in, that tells you there's a Greenway out here. So even the people that live in these neighborhoods don't know about this extensive Greenway out here.